to another review. Today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance from the house of Euphorium, Brooklyn. The fragrance we're going to touch upon today is called 100 Tweeds. Now, this fragrance was released last year in 2015. It is actually from a rather new house. The fragrance is, I would consider a niche fragrance. It's only available in a couple places, I think, off the website and also Twisted Lily, or it might just be Twisted Lily. So you'll do a little searching and you'll see exactly what I mean. You won't be able to find it discounted as well. Now, it's available in a couple sizes. Now, personally, I'm the type of person who really is not going to spend a lot of money on a fragrance unless I know that it's good. That's just the way I am, and that's kind of why I've changed my review format to only review off of samples rather than full bottles. If I just review off of full bottles, then I'm gonna say that everything is good, basically, because it's the only thing that I buy, and I don't want to get into that. So, bringing me to the actual house of the fragrances, this is available, it's available in a 50 milliliter, which is going to cost you about $180. It's available in a 30 milliliter, which is going to cost you $120, but it's also available with an 8 milliliter, which is going to cost you $40 retail. Now, I personally think that's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool just because I'm not going to shell out $180 for 50 milliliters unless I absolutely love the thing. That's just the way I am. However, with the $40 price tag, it does two things. One, if the fragrance, lasts a long time, 8 milliliters is generally all that I'm really going to need since I have so many fragrances. And on top of that, $40, extremely affordable if you're looking to get a fragrance. So I am pleasantly surprised with the way that Euphorium Brooklyn has priced its fragrances out on that matter. Now, it also has a discovery set which has, I believe, 4 8 milliliter bottles for I think $128. You can get all of or 4 of the fragrances in the line for $128, which is a really good deal, and I really do like their pricing structure. So that is a big plus and a big thumbs up. Alright, so with that, let's just go ahead and get right into the review. Now, the notes of this fragrance, as you can see on the screen, there are quite a lot of notes. I'm not going to walk through and talk about all of the notes. I'm just going to go ahead and dive right into the scent. Alright? Now, the scent itself, immediately when it hit me, I had read the press releases and I read the description of the house and the fragrances, and one of the things that this house advertises is that they use authentic oils and basically a little bit more authentic material. And when you smell it, you really are immediately hit with, okay, this is not like your general eau de toilette or eau de parfum that you're smelling, or your designers. This has a lot more depth and a lot more quality to it. You can definitely smell the difference immediately off. It's very heavy to start off with. It's very oil-based and very heavy off that. But for me, oils tend not to project and last on my skin. Not so with this one. This still retains that power and that projection. So the strength that I'm getting off of this one is, people can smell me a really good distance away, and it's easily over 15 plus hours on my skin. So fantastic on that. But the smell, getting into the smell, I'm getting a little bit off of it. It's a very strong animalistic smell. If you are a fan of animalistic fragrances, this is going to be right up your alley. This is going to come right there. If you are not a fan of animalistic fragrances, this is probably not going to suit you, but it's a very heavy, earthy, animalistic smell that retains like the sweetness from tobacco and honey. It comes off as just a very in-your-face fragrance. Like, it makes no apologies for what it actually is. For those of you who have smelled Angelman or who remember smelling Angelman from way back in the day, that's what this kind of reminds me. Almost not like a niche version of Angelman in the actual smell, but more the boldness. The boldness just really surprised me of this fragrance. This is a fragrance that, it's an excellent fragrance, but it's an excellent fragrance for a certain type of person, right? So a lot of times when I do my reviews and I do a review on a fragrance, I often say, hey, this is a fragrance for age group X and Y, wear this in the summer, and with this fragrance it's a little bit no different. I say definitely wear this one in the fall and winter. It's a heavy fragrance. It's a fragrance that I think is great for almost every occasion. I think it's a good signature scent, believe it or not. But here's the key. It's a good scent for a certain type of person. It's only for a certain type of person. So it may be versatile for that certain person, but outside of that, it's not versatile in terms of who can actually pull this one off. I think that if you are a older gentleman, and by older I mean 30 plus, if you dress well, more specifically a certain style of dress as well too, more like an old school type of a dressing, if you wear sports coats, and not even, when I say sports coats, I don't mean more modern upscale, but I mean more laid back. So one of the things that this fragrance kind of keys off of is tweed, and I can see where you're kind of getting that. We're talking about like tweed coats, you're wearing slacks, and you're well put together. That's what the scent kind of evokes. The kind of person that I attribute to this scent. Now, obviously, if you don't hit those scents, or if you don't hit that personality, you can go ahead and give this one a try. I think you might be perfectly fine with it. I'm just letting you guys know what I think actually fits with this actual scent. But either way, this smell, it smells to me almost like camping. It smells to me like the woods. It smells to me like you're out there. It's got a lot of notes. It's got, I believe, peat. It's got moss, lichen, hemlock. It's got so many notes that you can find out in the woods and out in the open air, and on top of that it's got the animalistic notes that you kind of sense and you smell when you're just walking through the woods. And I do a lot of hiking, and that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of all of that smell kind of mixed in together. It reminds me of a very natural scent, but a very pleasant natural scent, not one that smells artificial or man-made or anything like that. It smells very natural is what I'm trying to say, without, mincing my words. But in any case, I touched upon the performance on this one. Compliment factor. Now, I did not get compliments on this one, but I will say this fragrance doesn't match my personality. It's not something that I can pull off perfectly well. I have a harder time with animalistic fragrances, so that's why this one doesn't really fit with me. Doesn't really fit. I don't really wear tweed. Doesn't really fit with the tweed vibe or the sports coat vibe. I'm not a sports coat type of guy, so it doesn't really fit with me. But I think this can fit and work with a lot of people. I know there are a couple people in my head right off the bat who love these heavy, dark fragrances that are animalistic, that are earthy and woody, and would absolutely love this scent. So if you are a person who likes those type of scents, you are going to be attracted to this scent like crazy. So if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I give this fragrance a rating an 8 out of 10. A solid 8 out of 10. It gets an 8 out of 10. I was initially going to throw this one at a 7 or so. But what really tilts the balance in the favor of this fragrance a little bit is the pricing options. Pricing options make it very affordable, and even if you are a person who is not naturally inclined, like you've thought a lot of niche fragrances who go this way maybe a little bit too expensive, you can definitely pick this one up for cheaper, 40 bucks, 8 milliliters. If you're on the fence about this, this might be your time to actually get in and try a fragrance that is like this, that is around these parameters. It's probably not going to be anything like you've actually tried before. But I will say this, word of warning, try this fragrance. It is an animalistic fragrance, an earthy fragrance, and those are going to be hit or miss for people. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, one of the two. You're not really going to be on the fence. So keep that in mind. Definitely try this one out if you can. If you can get your hands on a sample, I would say definitely sample it out. But either way, I'd say very positive fragrance, very good fragrance from the house of Euphorium Brooklyn, and I expect a couple more reviews from some other scents from this house, all right? So I want to thank you guys. Let me know what your experiences are with this fragrance. Thank you. Take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.